I'm
premises
saying,
were true, and the premises lead into the conclusion.
and
I
that's
just
why,
don't think.
I'm asking you. I'm saying, okay, so how's your day been as a theist? If you,
Yeah, I told you, but once I agreed that there exists a being whose existence, sorry, their essence is their existence. I'm not committed to like praising the Christian God now.
but then, like, I don't really get it. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to make you Christian from an argument. You have to be Christian by faith in Christ. But the point is,
No, 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 no. Like, I don't even have to believe in like God in the standard sense where God has intellect. Like, there can be a being without intellect whose existence is their essence.
I already gave you my argument for why God would have to have a mind,
Yeah, but I never granted
and
that was true.
you shapeshifted during the argument.
No, I never look. You gave multiple arguments. I granted the first one. I granted the first one was not only
Yeah,
valid but
so
also
you
sound.
granted. Let me tell you what you granted. You granted the classical theistic notion of God, and then for the purpose of just conversation, I super added my argument to show you why he must have an intellect. But remember, in the
But
classical theist notion of God, it's already presumed that God would have an intellect based off the concept that we said so from before. That's the whole point.
well, look, I don't. I don't agree that all of that implies that they have an intellect. So why would I now praise God?
Well, yeah, if you don't agree, it doesn't mean that it doesn't. So that's just the skill issue.
See,
You get it?
I
You
mean, you
see that
haven't
guy?
demonstrated.
Terrence Howard. He doesn't agree that 1 + 1 is 2. He thinks it's one. He's African American, by the way, but he thinks it's one.
I'm not
So
African American, so
yeah, you're unfortunately West African. You're an atheist West African. What type of life are you living?
well, I'm
Like, do you
half
even
West
have a story?
African. I'm half West African.
Okay, so then what else are you?
I'm 25% another type of African and 25% Jewish.
And gay.
Bro, like what?
Yeah.
Nigga, just say what you are, bro. You're not an avatar.
I don't know. Like,
Okay, so that's
what?
two skill issues. So you don't know if you're a theist or an atheist, and you don't know what race you belong to. That's
I
embarrassing.
did wait. I said I'm 50% African and 25% Jewish.
Oh, okay, that explains it right there. Okay, cool. Is that predicate, the last predicate you mentioned?
What the last? What's the last predicate I mentioned?
You're Jewish. That's the problem. That's the only reason why you can't understand what you did the other day. Like, that's the only reason. He's the new
um.
Kanye West, bro.
Yeah. No. The argument you gave just didn't go through. Well, I'm 100% rich. My dad's a doctor, and then my mom's a nurse director. 100%.
Do you know what's so funny? I was gonna debate you on why my notion of change, because you tried to shift my argument from an essence existence argument to an argument about change. And so not only would I give you an argument, two of the arguments that you conceded to, but I'd also argue why your view about change is stupid as shit. Your view about change isn't even the contemporary common view.
Well, I didn't have any sort of view about specific view about change.
Yes, you did, because you gave me a definition. You said change would just be the application of a property to a different
Hmm?
property or something like that. The
Wait,
turn
what?
the Yeah, you said that yesterday. The other day,
Hmm?
I mean.
No, I didn't make any sort of claim. What I
I
made
got
the
you on
claim
clip.
is that change.
I got you on clip.
What I made the claim is change being a real feature of the world requires the future not to already exist.
No, no, no.
That's
You said, yeah, yeah. You said that you can appeal to B theory, right? And I said,
B theory eternalism in specific.
yeah, B theory, yeah,
Yes.
duh.
Like what?
Anyways, you said you appeal to B theory, eternalism, and then you said that you could just understand change not to be as the reduction of potency to act or any real transition, but just a property P, uh, basically just being like the application of a property turning into a different property. It's kind of the concept.
Well,
You gave the replacement theory of change.
what I would, if I was talking about change, I would literally just take the common sense notion of the word. Like, it's not even clear to me that
Okay, wait,
people like,
what's the common sense notion of the word?
uh, like, even if you read Aristotle, it's not clear that he thinks change is like a real substantive feature of the world. It's just something you look at, it obviously exists. Um, you look
Okay,
at things
Aristotle
being different
obviously
over time,
believes.
and that's what change is. I mean,
Aristotle obviously believes that change is a real substantive feature of the world.
I mean, I've talked to a couple Aristotle scholars, and they didn't necessarily agree.
The ones that came from your university is trash. You're talking about scholars like where? Online, like actual scholars, or the ones that
Scholars,
came from Kenya?
the ones from my, the
The one
ones
that
from
came from
my,
Kenya?
the ones from a top 12 university suck. But the scholars online, surely they know. Surely,
And they're saying that Aristotle denies change to be a real feature in reality?
no, they didn't say he denies it. They said it's kind of like ambiguous and like they're not necessarily sure that he's committed to anything about change being like a real feature of the world.
Okay, so basically all of the interpreters of Aristotle from back then were wrong, but the TikTok ones that you met that
Tik
email you on a day-to-day basis were right about
TikTok
Aristotle.
ones. I'm not sure the professors I'm talking to are TikTok ones. I don't even know if they know what TikTok is.
Discord.
They don't. I'm not sure they know what Discord is either.
Okay. Right. This guy's talking to ancient people then, because I
I'm
don't know, man.
saying I've talked to people at my university who study this and teach the subject. And they didn't necessarily say that.
Okay, so at your university, that's the point. I don't
Yeah.
trust the university.
Okay. What
I don't
university
even
would?
think your university is an institution. I think that's just your university is just corrupt, bro.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
But
Yeah, that's what these
anyway,
communities are
so
saying.
basically, I would take like the common sense notion of what changes. I don't have a specific account.
What's your common sense notion of what changes? What do you think that is?
I think you look around you, and I'll give you a couple examples. Like, if something like, so someone knocked on my door, I noticed a change in the world because, well, the instant they knocked on my door is different than the instant before where they didn't knock on my door, and I noticed that because of time passing.
Okay,
Uh,
so what's the definition for you then, based off that analysis?
I'm not sure I'm going to give any firm definition. I would just probably give a bunch of examples.
Then how can you be, in what sense are you saying the common sense then? Because the common contemporary account of change is just going to be, um, what's it called? Um, the turning of one property, P, something. I need to check it again. But they have an actual definition.
Sure, there can probably be a definition. Maybe it's going to admit some counterexamples, but it will generally be correct if it's like the notion most people would buy off on.
Are you
Uh,
saying that your idea of change doesn't stipulate a definition?
I mean, I'm saying I probably couldn't give you, like most concepts in philosophy, I probably couldn't give you a firm definition
Okay,
of the
okay.
concepts without there being a bunch of counterexamples.
Wait, Monkey Boy, are you ever down for a discussion? I just got back home, so I can't discuss right now. But are you actually ever down, or
I don't know.
people are saying? Some people is telling me, "Oh yeah, discuss with Monkey Boy," but it doesn't seem like he really wants a conversation. Like,
Yeah.
is it because I'm black?
If that was the case, I would have banned Julian long ago.
So, genuinely, what
Do you
is
think?
JamBar?
But let me try to understand. Do you think I'm like too Thomas that is just gonna go back and forth with scholastic gibberish?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nah, man, don't do me like that. I'm an eclectic. I take from contemporary schools too. But I do
Okay.
read analytic philosophy though.
It's funny because like all the people in this gang, they like solely study like a couple people from 1,000 years ago. I mean,
No, but
You're
yeah, but
crazy.
okay, the thing that when you guys keep saying like people from 1,000 years ago, what does that mean in philosophy? Like philosophy isn't physics, where it's like, okay, cool, you have Newton from 1,000 years ago with limited apparatus and blah blah blah. Like back then, you don't think that they had relatively the same mental capacity as we had for conceptual resources, for philosophical insight?
Actually, no.
So
I
you think
think
they're just dumbasses back then?
I didn't say they're dumbass. The same way that like physicists pre Einstein aren't dumbasses for not knowing about relativity. I just think our knowledge has obviously grown.
You think the physicists back then were dumbasses because they didn't know relativity?
I said the exact opposite. See, this is selective hearing. Like
Okay, so what did you say? Maybe it's
I
because
said,
I got headset on.
the physicists are not dumbasses for not being familiar with Einstein's relativity, but our
Oh,
physics
okay.
knowledge has grown significantly. I think a similar thing is true of our
Yeah, that's what I'm
philosophical
saying though.
knowledge.
That's why I brought back the whole scientific apparatus thing, right? Because back then, I would say like physicists wasn't coming to as much conclusions as we do now. Maybe did not have as much resources because their resources are more inherently linked to like empirical data and things like that that require maybe technological progress. But simple things like philosophy, which is
Simple things
just
like philosophy. Okay.
simple as in you don't need a much technology, not simple as in understanding, right? Like for philosophy, I don't need an iPhone 15 to understand a metaphysical framework. I would probably need a phone or digital device to understand
Look,
maybe quantum physics.
the problem is not like that you need sophisticated technology to do philosophy. It's that the philosophical ideas have grown so much since the time of those people. We now have sophisticated.
The presumption though is that is grown for the better. That's the presumption.
Okay, like if you believe that none of our moral knowledge is developing, none of our metaphysical knowledge is developing, I think that's a pretty indefensible idea to have. For example, now we know the failures of utilitarianism. We have a lot of counterexamples, which mean most people are going to reject utilitarianism. We've now grown more sophisticated versions of deontology, much more significant than we had during the time of Kant. They didn't have access to all the theories of well-being we have today, given by people, all the arguments for those. Um, the people of the past didn't
And
know
what
about.
what good? What is that? What good does that do for philosophy, though? Exactly.
It means you can draw on more sophisticated theories and progress off of more sophisticated theories. I mean,
When you say that you can, like, there's a difference between like, okay, so what? Because when you say you can draw on more theories, I'm more so thinking like philosophical frameworks. Like, do you know Hegel's philosophical framework?
I don't. Well, I'm not that familiar with Hegel. I think it's gibberish, but I don't
Hegel
bother.
is not gibberish. Hegel is really good, but like for example, I think you're acquainted with Kant, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so like Kant's framework, for example, would take a couple of years for other Kantians and neo-Kantians to elicit and make more concepts, right? But a philosophical framework, for example, like nihilism or anti-natalism, things of this sort, are yeah, like they give us more data in concepts with philosophy, but they don't really do us much good. Because like when you say that there's more theories, I'm more so thinking, okay, cool. Theories that are good are like ones
No,
that
look,
can give
I'm
us.
saying that there's developing good theories. Like Kant's theories nowadays are more developed. Most people are not hold, holding to original versions of Kant's theories. They're much more sophisticated than time Kant was publishing in. That's the type of progress I'm talking about. Um, and the point is, most neo Aristotelians nowadays, I don't even think a lot of them have deeply read Aristotle at all, or are that familiar with what Aristotle is saying. Like some of the neo Aristotelians will grasp onto like a basic idea Aristotle had and forward it. At this point, I don't even think that there's much direct engagement with Aristotle's theories, for example, so much as they see like a basic idea and just develop it.
So you don't think that? So you don't think that um, neo-Aristotelians right now understood Aristotle's writings?
In depth, no. I think they understood parts of it, but I think a lot of them uh, are quick to borrow ideas, and I think Aristotle scholars really do understand his theories, but neo-Aristotelians that try and forward Aristotle's views, a lot of them are not like sophistically engaging with his actual views. They're taking things that he probably said that are plausible and forwarding them. Uh,
Okay,
so,
and why do you think that though?
well, first of all, I've talked to people who claim to be neo-Aristotelians, and they've admitted that.
So you're
a lot-
talking about neo-Aristotelians on TikTok.
I'm talking about professors who have spoken at my university.
So you're saying that you've spoken to a neo. What is this with your university? You're telling me that in your university there's neo-Aristotelian professors, and you've spoken to them, and you realize that they don't
Well, I didn't say they're
they didn't-
professors at my university. People come and visit, and they talk. We give
Okay,
talks.
so the people that visit your university
Yeah.
are in your university, and you've had a discussion with them about Aristotelianism, and you figured out that they didn't have as much depth in Aristotelianism or Aristotle's works.
I didn't say they didn't have much. There's like a difference. I'm saying they're familiar with the work. They're mainly familiar with, a lot of the lines of reasoning, but they're not really that familiar with the text themselves and the specifics of what Aristotle is saying. I'm saying that's something more that Aristotle scholars do.
Yeah, I can't lie, bro. I think that's just BS. Like, neo-Aristotelians, I don't judge them by like the amount of people that come to my university. I actually judge them by like works, like people have quoted when they're talking about Aristotelians.
You don't read. How many of these like deep neo-Aristotelians are doing publishing Aristotle scholarship?
How many what?
How many neo-Aristotelians do you think are publishing Aristotle scholarship?
What do you mean publishing Aristotle scholarship?
Like they publish scholarship about what Aristotle thought. Like they analyze the text.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Can't count it. There's a lot.
No, I'm saying that's mainly the work being done by Aristotle scholars, not neo-Aristotelians.
Wait, you have to quote Aristotle's works to be. I don't understand.
Well, okay.
We're talking about them understanding Aristotle's framework. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I'm saying like they have a more surface level understanding of Aristotle's framework. The specifics of what Aristotle said are not necessarily that important to neo-Aristotelians. They take the most plausible lines of reasoning.
Bro, I don't
Aristotle
even
had.
think you've read enough neo-Aristotelians to be making that claim. You do realize that the whole scholastic tradition are neo-Aristotelians.
The whole scholastic tradition are neo-Aristotelians. I'm pretty sure that is false.
Yeah, I mean, virtually almost all of them are neo-Aristotelians, unless you're talking about Neoplatonist scholastics.
They're because they're more scholastic philosophers than Aristotle. So obviously, I think that more people are in love.
There's more scholastic philosophers than Aristotle, duh. But that doesn't mean...
So when you say that these scholastic philosophers are only neo-Aristotelians, I just think it's crazy. Or like the vast.
Yeah, but how do you get from the inference that there are more neoclassical scholastic philosophers than Aristotle, to then denying that there's significantly a large amount or most of scholastic philosophers are neo-Aristotelians? Like, how do you make the connection there?
No, wait. No, you said like almost all are all.
Yeah, almost all of them. Almost all of them
are
yeah.
neo-Aristotelians.
No, almost all of them are neo-Aristotelians. Yeah.
You said all of them at first. Then you changed it to almost all are.
Yeah, have you spoken to people in real life? That's how they talk. When they say all these people are dumb, they're just talking about restricting it. It's natural language. Come on now.
No, when you make claims like these, I feel that's not coming on the natural language. But sure, I think that's probably still wrong. There's probably a good amount of people who adopt the Platonist tradition.
Mention 3 people in scholastic tradition that are not neo-Aristotelians. Go ahead.
In scholastic tradition, I don't even know what that fully.
But then if you don't know what that means, how can you disagree with my
I said I
claim?
don't know what that fully encompasses.
What do you mean you don't know what that fully encompasses? You can't count?
Like what exactly
We
is
gotta
the
let this go in
parameters of
5 minutes.
scholastic tradition?
Let it go 5 more minutes.
What exactly
Basic.
is the parameters of
If you look
scholastic
at the
tradition?
scholastic tradition,
No,
mention
no, don't repeat it. Tell me what are the parameters of the scholastic tradition that you're talking about.
do you know, or are you asking me to tell you?
I'm asking you to tell me what
But
you
do
mean when you're
do
saying
you
this.
okay, so do you know what that is though?
I have a common sense understanding based on the ordinary rules of English. Okay?
What?
But like I'm asking
Hold
you
on, hold on, hold on.
what
So what do you
mean
think
by this?
scholasticism is then?
What do I think? It's like a tradition. You take classical philosophy, usually especially people like Aristotle and Plato, and a lot of them will intertwine Christian theology in it. There's a focus on faith and reasoning, and then it's a medieval kind of European method.
Medieval kind of European method. That is just a very weird understanding of scholasticism, but it's okay.
Wait, the scholastic tradition isn't a medieval European, isn't originated?
I mean, scholastics make use of a medieval method. If by the
Okay,
medieval
I'm
method,
going
you just
online.
have-
I think you're being this. I'm going online and
You're going on what?
This is Wikipedia or something like that. It says right here on the Wikipedia. I can literally right here on the Wikipedia. Scholasticism was a medieval European philosophical movement. Our methodology that was predominant education in Europe from about 1100 to 1700.
Yep.
No, but earlier in this conversation, did you not say, "Oh, that's a weird understanding"?
Yeah, that's a weird understanding because you didn't include that in your definition. Are you slow?
What do you mean? I didn't include what in my definition?
You didn't include that you have to be a realist about universals and natures, at least to a minimal degree. You didn't include that, meaning William Ockham would be a scholastic in your view, which is stupid because he isn't. That's the whole point. So you don't know what you're talking about.
This is so dumb. You asked me to briefly define what scholasticism is. I gave a pretty
And that's why. And I'm telling you, that's why I said it's weird because in some sense it's true, but in another sense you would have to confirm that there are people.
This is anyone on the spot to give you a better definition than I did. I guarantee you they're giving a less encompassing definition than I did.
That just means that you're a bit less stupid than other people. That's not my issue. That's just
a bit less stupid than almost anybody you could have asked. Like
on TikTok in this live, as far as Monkey Boy's the set of like the people that belong to Monkey Boy is considered, yes.
Oh no! Anyone who literally isn't a scholar. I guarantee you.
Because the only people that are in this live are people that watch you lot's live. That's the whole point.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, I mean, cool. And do you know what we can do, Monkey Boy? We could set up a debate solely on like analytic philosophy about the right notion of change or any of these meta-ontological views that would
change is meta-ontological now.
Infer my I'm just saying, bro, you shut up, bro. Anyways, any other methodological views that would lead us to conclude my position or your position, relatively speaking?
To debate you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't have that.
Why? What the fuck? Bro, you don't even know me. What the hell?
Well, from what I've seen, I don't think I'm interested.
Okay, so like from what you've seen between me and JamBar, right?
Yeah, and I've seen you elsewhere, but yeah.
Okay, cool. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, but it seems like you don't want to talk about it, is that you don't understand how we could count one God with relative identity and three persons. Do you understand that now?
No, I don't understand relative identity.
Okay, cool.
Explain it to him like he's 5.
Well, with RI, we're just basically using linguistic devices such as photos to count to relativize certain properties that belong to an equivalence relation, which would just be
Wait,
transitivity.
what?
Yeah, go ahead, JamBar. Yeah, I know you want your attention now. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, certain properties that belong to an equivalence relation. So symmetry, transitivity, reflexivity, and we're just interpreting that as being relative to a discernible sortal. So what makes two things the same? The interpretation of the equal sign is just going to be relative instead of absolute. So it's going to be restricted in a certain sense. And when we count God, we're counting by the essential predicates, which belong to a particular indiscernible sortal, which is just going to be G. And then when we count the different persons, we count by the different hypostatic properties. So we can count three in one God.
Go on, Monkey
Basically.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't get any of that.
I actually wonder whether these people actually buy these views that they're espousing, or it's just to defend whatever philosophical background.
Yeah, I definitely believe in my views, Jambar. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, but I'm sure all the
I put
Aristotelian
it on
scholastic people
your
on here are
life.
not engaging in. I'm just taking on these views to defend whatever tradition I'm part
I
of.
put it on your life. I believe in
I'm
my
gonna drop
views.
all
But
these
anyways,
people. I don't know if I should drop Julian though. It's Friction's call. Should we drop him? Friction, drop Julian.
Well, I think June's I think June's a very smart guy.
That's funny. Guys, we gotta get people up though. Share repost. I'll keep up Julian for a bit more.
See, after
to be fair.
After you made me talk to this guy on,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I
So your
started.
mom also beat you in a debate? Is that what you're saying?
I debated her on the problem of evil a while ago, and my mom said something like, "Yeah, God does evil. What's the problem?" Said, "Yeah."
Yeah, it sounds like she won that one. To be fair.
No, I mean she just conceded. And she's like, "What about it?"
No, the idea is that she was like pointing out you're assuming there's a tension in the first place. You can spell it out.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think so. She was like, "Julian, just go pray. I'm not in I'm not in the mood for this."
I mean, who really is in the mood to talk to JamBar, debate JamBar?
Bro loves to debate his mom.
Come on, guys. Get this live out there. There's 60 people here. Share, repost, and all that stuff. Get the 25K likes. We got 40 people on the YouTube streams, so it's pretty good. Got to get something interesting going on.
Someone said first Cliff, then his mom.
No, he lost his mom first, then Cliff.
Yeah, I think was that.
The order's wrong.
Actually, I think mom was after Cliff.
Was it? Did you do good on your exams?
What? No.
And that's because you didn't pray.
You know, there's the horn of dilemma. Like, so suppose I pray, right? Then she's gonna say that I did good on my exams because I prayed. And if I don't pray, she's gonna say I did bad on my exams because I didn't pray. And then if I do well on my exams and I didn't pray, she's gonna say, well, sometimes you do good. And if I did pray and I did well, if I did pray and I did bad on my exams, she's gonna say sometimes our prayers are ineffective. So
Right.
there's no condition.
No, that sounds like it's an airtight worldview, though.
Yeah, it's great. Because whatever happens, it supports your run.
Exactly. Well, that's how you know the
Julian
view's right, if at every turn you end up at the same conclusion.
I have a question, Monkey Boy. Someone said Julian has lost.
Well,
Oh, hi, Friction. Friction, I have a question. So someone said Julian has lost debates to 109 people, more than 1,000 times. Whose fault is that?
I think
It has
it's
to
yours.
be. Well, there's actually two people at fault. It's Detroyer, because Detroyer promotes him debating top dogs when he knows he's going to get torn up. But then it's also Julian's inability to have self-awareness,
Veritas.
know that he's going to get torn up.
But so I have a question. So if a group of people got kicked out of 109 countries, then by the same line of reasoning, would it follow that they were also at fault?
Not
Now
sure.
you're just being anti-Semite.